We are speaking to immigration attorney Chantelle Casillas in Berkeley, California. Counselor, welcome. How do I know when my court case is?
So the way that you'll know when you have to go to court or when your court case is set for is you should receive something in the mail called a hearing notice from the court. And that will indicate the date, time, and location where you have to present yourself, and also for what kind of hearing you have to present yourself before an immigration judge.
Can I change that date?
Yes. Sometimes you can change your upcoming hearing date. However, it's better if you are represented, you ask your attorney to change that date. And typically, court dates don't just change because you want them to. There has to be a pretty good reason. So, for example, if you feel that you needed more time to present your case in the best light as possible, you could always ask your attorney to file a motion to continue. And things like that. But yes, you can, but there needs to be a very valid, good reason in order to change your court date with the judge.
Will it ever change?
Yes. So there's a strong possibility that your court date may change from the original hearing date that you get at the beginning of your case. Especially right now with the pandemic, we're noticing immigration attorneys, especially, that the courts are kicking our clients' cases out further and further. At the moment, some cases aren't going to be able to be heard until the year 2023 or 2024. So court dates do change very frequently, very often, and sometimes for no good apparent reason other than the judge's docket or unforeseen circumstances like a worldwide pandemic. So yes, it's always very important to stay on top of your court date because it may change at the drop of a hat.
How frequently do I need to check my court date?
You can check your court date as frequently and as meticulously as you'd like. It depends on every person. Personally, I think it's a good idea maybe to check once every couple of weeks, just to make sure that nothing's changed. But absent, a worldwide pandemic or, some unforeseen circumstances in the United States that would cause, court dates to be pushed out for some crazy reason, I think, every couple of weeks is a pretty good timeline to check on your court dates to see if they've changed. And again, if you're represented by an attorney, it's their job and their office's job to let you know if the court has in fact changed your court date.
What happens if I do not show up?
So if you do not show up for your court date, and let's just say this is one of your initial court dates, like your master calendar hearing, it depends on the judge and how strict they are, which state you're in. But I've seen some judges order individuals, respondents representing themselves who don't really know the rules, removed in absentia. That means removed in their absence when they fail to show up to the first master calendar hearing. If you fail to show up to your last individual hearing, and that's the most important one, then a judge will absolutely more likely than not order you removed, absent very, very good reason as to why you didn't show up to your final hearing to present your case.
If my court case is already closed and I did not show up, what do I do?
So let's say there was something like an emergency. For example, your wife was pregnant. You got hit by a car, something really, really crazy. And that was the reason that you couldn't show up to your hearing date. It is extremely important to go ahead and file something called a motion to reopen really, really quickly, as soon as you can. Like if you get hit by a car, as soon as you get out of the hospital, go file it. Because after a certain amount of days, it gets way harder to try and reopen your case before the immigration court. But you can always ask the court to please reopen your case. However, you are going to have to provide documentary evidence in the form of, hospital records if you were sick or if your wife was giving birth and you could not be there for some crazy reason to convince the court to reopen your case again.
Counselor, thank you. We appreciate your time.